Saram America! This is Soul Network, and I am your host, Vishnu Rangachari. Welcome to InSaider Lens. Through this special 10-episode series, we will take you on a beautiful spiritual journey across the nation. Along the way, we will collect valuable gems of different cities, their culture, spirits, and unveil the cord that connects them with Swami's teachings. In the previous episodes, we glided through the blue skies of New York and raced through the expansive flatlands of Dallas on horsebacks. With the divine blessings of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, we welcome y'all to Atlanta, Georgia, the largest state east of the Mississippi. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready for this exciting ride. For tonight's episode, here are our top stories. Catholics across the world observed All Saints' Day on November 1st. The world was engulfed in light yesterday, November 4th, while celebrating Diwali, the Festival of Lights. The intake of applicants for Sri Sathya Sai International Leadership Program for the year 2022 closes soon. And in our main segment titled From Refugee to Friend, a Journey of Loving Service, we will spotlight the efforts and experiences of Sai centers across the U.S. who are engaged in loving service to refugees from around the world. Many Catholics and other Christians observe All Saints' Day on November 1st, which honors all saints of the Church deemed to have attained heaven. It is also a way to honor the unknown saints who otherwise do not have a special day dedicated to them. The day is observed in different ways around the world. In France and Germany, businesses are closed and people have the workday off. In the Philippines, the day is also known as Undas, where the day is also for honoring and paying respects to departed loved ones, usually with prayers, flowers, and good offerings. Diwali or Deepavali is one of the most famous festivals. It was celebrated on November 4th with grand splendor by Hindus, Jains, Sikhs, and Buddhists all over the world. The festival, which coincides with Hindu New Year, celebrates new beginnings and signifies light over darkness and the triumph of good over evil. On this day, Jains across the globe distribute sweets and light lamps to commemorate the anniversary of Sri Mahavira's liberation. By lighting up the Golden Temple in Amritsar, India, Sikhs celebrate the return of their Guru, Har Gobind. Diwali is also considered the day when Emperor Ashoka converted to Buddhism. Buddhist monasteries all over the world are beautifully decorated. Now, let us hear what our beloved Swami has to say on the significance of Diwali.
అట్టి పారమార్థికమైన అర్థాన్ని కూడా నిరూపించినటువంటి దినము ఈ దీపావళి దినము.
This Deepavali day is the day which conveys the significance of the lighting of the lamps.
అయితే ఈ దీపములంతా కూడా కేవలము బాహ్యమైన అంధకారమును మాత్రమే దూరం గావిస్తుండాలి.
These lamps can only dispel the physical darkness.
ఈ జ్యోతికి మరొక సుగుణం కూడా ఉంటుండాలి.
Light has one more virtue.
దీపం ఎక్కడ పెట్టినప్పటికీ అది ఊర్ధ్వ స్థితికే ప్రయాణం అవుతుంది కానీ అదో స్థితికి పోదు.
Wherever you light, the flame starts going upwards. It will never go downwards.
అనగా ఉన్నత స్థాయికి పోతుంది. జ్ఞాన మార్గము పుణ్య మార్గమునికే అది ప్రయాణం తెలుస్తుంది.
That means to say that it takes the path of gnana and goes only upwards and illuminates the lamp.
ఇట్టిని జ్యోతిని వెలిగించాలంటే దీనికి 4 పదార్థములు ఉంటుండాలి.
There is a need for 4 articles if you want to light the lamp.
ఒకటి ప్రమిద,
one is the container,
రెండవది ఆయిల్,
the second one is the oil,
మూడవది ఒత్తి,
the third one is the wick,
నాలుగవది అగ్గిపెట్టె,
the fourth one is the matchbox.
ఈ 4తో ఏ ఒక్కటి లేకపోయినా కూడా మనం జ్యోతిని వెలిగించలేము.
If you do not have any one of these 4, you cannot light the lamp.
ఈ 4 కూడా తప్పనిసరిగా ఉంటుండాలి.
You should essentially have all these 4.
అయితే ఇంత వెలుగు కూడాను ఏ చీకటిని పోగొడుతుండాలి? బాహ్యమైనటువంటి చీకటిని పోగొడుతుండాలి.
This light can only dispel the physical darkness.
లంకా పట్టణం అంతా కూడా పట్టపగలుగా వెలుగుతూ ఉండినప్పటికీ రావణుని మనసు లోపల మాత్రము అంధకారమే చిమ్మ చీకటి కప్పుకుంటూ ఉన్నది. అది అజ్ఞానము, అది అహంకారము, అది ఆడంబరము.
Although the entire Lanka was set ablaze and full of light emanating out of it, the heart of Ravana was full of darkness.
రాగద్వేషములతో కూడినటువంటి రావణాసుని హృదయము చిమ్మ చీకటిగానే ఉంటుండాలి.
His heart, which was full of likes and dislikes, egotism
ఈ
and
చీకటి
so,
పోగొట్టే వారెవరు?
was full of darkness. And who can dispel this darkness?
ఇది కేవలం జ్ఞాన జ్యోతి వలనే ఈ చీకటి పోతుంది తప్ప అన్ని జ్యోతులతో ఈ చీకటి నివారణ అయ్యేటువంటిది కాదని స్మరించాడు.
You can dispel this darkness in the heart only by the light of wisdom and by nothing else.
Now, let us recap last week's Connect Challenge. We visited Dallas, Texas, and learned that Tejas is a Caddo Native American word for friendship. In the spirit of friendship, we asked all of you to share the one quality which sustains a friendship. And here are your answers in the form of a beautiful word cloud. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for sharing your thoughts with us. The Sri Sathya Sai International Leadership Program has been accepting applications for the year 2022. We invite all young adults in the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization to participate in this program. Let us listen to some of the past graduates to learn how the program made a difference in their lives.
SSSILP program has given me a very different perspective on looking at the actual meaning of leadership. The program highlighted Swami's life and teachings, communication skills, project management, and yes, of course, about organization.
Before I registered for the Sri Sathya Sai International Leadership Program, I was skeptical if this program will be for the person like me. But as soon as we started the program, I realized that it was one of my best decisions I ever made.
Some of my key takeaways from the program were the concepts of selflessness, the spirit of self-sacrifice, how to reframe and refocus during challenging situations, and last but not the least, how to give up the idea of possessiveness and focus on the well-being of the society.
This program gave me a great idea how to improve, and one of my favorite is self-development diary. It is nice way to get rid of your weakness or something you want to overcome.
I personally found the module on meeting the challenges of young adults very applicable in day-to-day life. It provided practical tips with touch of spirituality on dealing with the challenges that all of us face as a young adult, like making career choice, dealing with the workplace politics, peer pressure, etc. Those of you who have not joined Sri Sathya Sai Leadership Program, I highly encourage you to join and be like a lion and spread the message of love all and serve all.
Swami, I once again thank you for this golden opportunity of transformation, and I wish all the 2022 participants a very exciting journey. Jai Sai Ram.
Finally, time to get into our main segment. In recent months, we have seen the heart-wrenching news of Afghans seeking safe havens outside their country. These stories have brought to forefront the plight of refugees and how we as a nation have stepped up to support them. Our Sai family in Atlanta and centers across the US have been doing great work in this area for years. This upcoming multi-part segment will take us into the world of refugee seva. So, let's get right into it.
Sairam, I'm Srilata, an SSC teacher from Atlanta. With His divine grace, we have been running the Sai tutoring program virtually since 2020 with 2 kids, one of them being a child of an Afghan refugee settler. Being impressed with the program, the mother spread the word among others in her community. And slowly the program grew, and now we serve about 20 children. So one of the biggest challenges that we face in is communication. Many parents do not speak English. We are fortunate to have one Afghan parent who is our liaison and interpreter. She has been our go-to person, helping us immensely by being a translator when required.
When these families actually come to US, the refugee families, they need time to bounce into financially stable lives. So the children in these families do not have access to laptops, devices, or any other technologies. Some households don't even have mobile phones. So Brother Satish and the Atlanta Sai community jumped in to help them by donating new and refurbished devices to these families. There are multiple siblings in the families, and now these siblings of the single family share these donated devices to complete their assignments, to prepare for the classes, and to get tutored by Sai tutoring on weekends.
And this year I'm working with another girl who has 4 other siblings. So they're constantly switching devices so that all of them can join, and they all have different time slots that they can switch. Even though they have fewer resources, they're making the most out of what they have, and they're just feeling gratitude that they have at least these few laptops and things that they can work with.
The thing that really opened my eyes is that the ability and the commitment with which these children work, also how soon they learn to adapt to the new surroundings and the way they picked up some of the concepts.
I just love seeing how these children, even though they're put into a tough situation, they just manage to pull through, and they really do progress over time.
It's been a privilege working with the Sai Tutoring Initiative. It's been an enriching and gratifying experience. I've definitely become a lot more patient as a result of it. They struggle with certain math concepts and English concepts, and I've had to break it down for them and go back to square one. But I must say that I really do respect their work ethic and their dedication. I've worked with quite a few children who care about learning and mastering concepts.
Yeah, so last year I was working with an active young girl who also had 2 other siblings. It was always really chaotic at her house for some reason. I'm not sure why. All 3 of them would get distracted with each other, and some of them would not focus in the middle of class. So a technique I had to use to draw her into the class was to maybe play a game with her or something, so that she would focus first, and then I could teach her something while she's still paying attention. So I always had to personalize what she was learning. And so that was one thing that I definitely learned from this experience.
And I'm also slowly learning and understanding to be very sensitive of their cultural dynamics and never ask about their personal life unless they themselves share it.
I know someone who's trying to pay bills, and he's working long hours, late hours, and he's also trying to get through a college class simultaneously. So
he volunteered to help with that college kid. But unfortunately, he never showed up. He could not, because that kid had to leave for work. So he said, sorry, miss, my manager is calling. This is an emergency. If I don't go, my job will be gone. And that's when he was telling me, miss, I have to pay bills. My rental bills are piling up. My other bills are piling up. My dad is unwell. He cannot work because in his English is very broken. So he said, miss, they don't give us anything. They give us little money. They take away everything. So when he told me, promise, miss, I'll come back. This manager is calling me. It's emergency. I'll go. But I'll come back, miss. Will you? I need you. I need you. I need you to help me. That's how he speaks. So it was last night. Midnight was his deadline for the assignment. And he told me when he's back from work, he will message me. I kept the Zoom meeting open, but unfortunately that boy could not come back. I don't know what happened. It's hard life.
So it's a lot to deal with, and I just really hope that the Side Tutoring Initiative can help.
It is my earnest and sincere prayer to Swami that these children strive their best. They're doing their best. Please help them through.
One in 95 people are forced to flee their homes because of conflict and persecution. Refugees may find themselves in a situation where their lives are at risk and they must leave their country with nothing but a few belongings. Refugees escape dangerous situations with great difficulty, often traveling for days before they can seek protection, usually in a neighboring country. Many can get hurt and become separated from their friends and family in the process. All of this can be very traumatic. According to UNHCR, a refugee is unable or unwilling to return to their country of origin due to the fear of being persecuted for reasons of race, religion, nationality, membership of a particular social group, or political opinion. They are protected under international law and must not be returned to situations where their life and freedom are at risk. There are 26 million refugees in the world today. More than half of them are children under the age of 18. Each year, hundreds of thousands of children are born in displacement. They have only ever seen life as a refugee. Most refugees stay in temporary settlements or camps, where the UNHCR, governments, and local partners strive to offer protection, housing, health, and education services. Even then, life as a refugee is hard. They deal with many challenges, including ongoing trauma, lack of infrastructure, interrupted education, lack of work, and a steady income. Refugees stay in temporary settlements and camps for decades, awaiting a permanent solution. Most refugees eventually go home when it's safe. Others try to find work and rebuild lives in the country they fled to. A tiny fraction of refugees are chosen and resettled in a third country like the United States. They are the lucky few who are given a new opportunity to rebuild their lives. Since 2003, US has resettled over 900,000 refugees from 60 different countries of origin within its borders. Another 180,000 refugees are expected to arrive and call America their home in 2021 and 2022. Rebuilding a life in a new country with a different language and a different culture can be very challenging. Yet, for a refugee who has endured so much, their journey of resettlement is filled with hope, joy, and gratitude. Former US Secretary of State Madeleine Albright came to the United States as a refugee when she was 11 years old. She said this at a UN Refugee Summit in 2016. "When I came here as a child, I will never forget sailing into New York Harbor for the first time and beholding the Statue of Liberty. I did not have to face refugee camps or the kind of danger that many refugees endure."
Salam, everyone. We have a special guest today, Brother Ernie Duff, who has served the refugee community both professionally and extensively for over 2 decades. Welcome, Brother Ernie.
Salam, sister. Nice to see you.
You too. So we have a few questions for you today, brother. Will you please describe the experience of becoming a refugee from the starting point all the way to the resettlement in a country like ours?
Certainly. Refugees are by definition persecuted people. And it's because of that persecution that one day they may wake up and have to flee against their will, often leaving everything behind in a moment's notice, getting out of the country and ending up generally in refugee camps, some of which they may be in for a short period of time, and others they may be in for years. Immigration countries come, the United States is one of those, and they interview and they select a small number for resettlement in third countries like the United States. And so eventually the refugees, whether they're individuals or families, they arrive, they are welcomed, and then the United States refugee resettlement structure begins to set in. That includes the State Department and the Department of Health and Human Services, as well as the Department of Homeland Security. And these agencies work with voluntary organizations, of which there are 9 in the United States, to resettle the refugees. And so the day begins for refugees the moment they arrive.
That sounds like an extensive process. So why provide service to help refugees settle into their life in their new homes?
The experience of being a refugee is a profoundly spiritual and also a humanitarian matter. And we should be concerned because we are a spiritual and humanitarian organization. Why is it spiritual? Well, the whole process of being forced out of your home for good is a very spiritual quest that you go on. And it's very important to know that scriptures throughout all the religions say that refugees are protected people. They are God's chosen people. And then the humanitarian aspect is extremely important because refugees are basically the result of a human-made disaster, which is the conditions that force them to flee. And we should respond.
What does Swami say about serving refugees?
Swami says that we should help the helpless and do it selflessly. And the helpless include a long list of people, of which refugees are one.
How do you think we can best serve refugees as members of the SSSIO organization?
I think we have a golden opportunity to serve and serve across a number of domains as people who love to do service. We can be involved from day one with resettlement of the refugees, including meeting them upon arrival, getting them into housing, starting them in English classes, beginning job counseling and job training, among other things. Or we could get involved in the midpoint of the resettlement and help them with ongoing issues around English language acquisition, helping learn about the culture and acculturate to the United States. And then we could get involved in the longer term. And the longer term would include things like becoming a mentor to refugee children or refugee adults, for that matter, as well as potentially becoming an accompanier, taking them places, teaching them, showing them the joy of this country, and last but not least, becoming their friend.
Thank you for sharing such meaningful tips for us to serve this beloved community. May we all do so right where we are. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
What an interesting session so far. I cannot wait to see the rest of it. But before we proceed, let us take a short spiritual break, and we will be right back. When we return, we will continue with a panel of Sai brothers and sisters who will share their experiences with refugee service projects from across the country. You don't want to miss it.
This ad is brought to you by PandaMat.
Are you having any of the following symptoms of COVID work from home? Does working from bed seem more comfier? Are there clashing workspaces at home? Do your children interrupt you while you're working? Is ordering takeout a new convenience now? If so, it seems like you're suffering from COVID work from home syndrome. To treat this syndrome, introducing PandaMat, your pandemic mat. I'm a great companion because of my compact and portable design. I was created with the latest smart soul technology, and the coolest feature is a built-in sensor that can detect when you and I are low on positive vibrations. So recharge with me by spending time on your favorite activities that nourish your inner self. Anywhere from calming meditations or crafting games, PandaMat is there for you to strengthen the bond with your inner divine self. It's the perfect ally to write in your gratitude journal, read your favorite Sai spiritual book, or even sing the glory of the Lord. So, freeze time with your PandaMat by getting away from the frantic pace of your work or home life and spend time with the Swami within you. Order your PandaMat right now! With an amazing price of 108 Namasmaranas, the first 96 customers will attain the highest level of ultimate bliss. Don't miss out on this special Diwali offer. Call 1-800-GO-WITHIN today to order your PandaMat. Disclaimer, please note that although this mat might be fictional, it is up to you to strengthen the bond with your inner self.
Sai Ram, thank you Vishnu, and welcome back everyone. We just heard from Brother Ernie on challenges that refugees face as they come into our country. We also saw the wonderful work that's been done in Atlanta in educating refugee children as they face a new life in a new school. We are blessed to have wonderful panelists who have been initiators of refugee programs in their own centers. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Rama Devi from Indiana. Dr. Rama has been involved with serving Burmese refugees, especially pregnant women. Next, we move to Keshav Joganapalli from Des Moines, Iowa, who has been deeply involved in tutoring Somali children. We move on from Des Moines to Atlanta, where we would like to welcome Sister Srilata, whom we all just saw in this wonderful tutoring initiative being done by her and her group. And finally, over to our greater Boston area, where we would like to welcome Ramachandran Ramgopal, who has been involved in collaborating with a partner to help the Afghan refugees. We would like to start with a question to you all, which is, what made you start this service?
Sairam. So actually, I did this project in Des Moines, Iowa. We were doing medical camp in Iowa. So that is how I came in contact with the refugee offices when I went to give the flyers. Then that is when the thought process started.
Sairam, for us at Des Moines, we started Somalia service like few years, back in 2015, 2016 timeframe. And at that time, we were looking for a service activity for our group 4 kids. And at the same time, it happened that we came to know about the Somalia refugee community and their request to have their kids well educated. So that's how we kind of started our service here.
Sairam, being a teacher by profession myself and seeing the privileged children, high achievers in my class going downhill during the COVID, that made me very concerned for the children without privileges. So I had this earnest prayer to Swami to help these underserved children. And of course, Swami has his own ways. And he took on the responsibility and orchestrated the entire program by bringing the right people together.
Sairam, there is a saying in Tamil which goes like this: Tikkatravarkku Daivame Thunai. What that means is, if you have lost your direction or your compass, there is only one refuge, that is God. When it comes to the Afghan refugees or evacuees, as they call them now, they came here not with the 2 suitcases and a carry-on bag. They just came with whatever they are wearing and have come to this country. They have language barriers. They don't have a credit card. They don't have social security number, no credit history, no rent history. So they are in an extraordinarily vulnerable position at this point in time. We have been doing different kinds of services in all centers. So this made a lot of sense, and we could make an impact in their lives by offering services to them. So that's how we decided we should do this service.
Very inspiring. Now that the thought process has started, the next is, what is the process that you use to identify the right partner for the service that you are offering?
Actually, when I was doing this medical camp, we were working with the refugee offices. Then one day I was thinking about being a pediatrician. I wanted to give some health education for the refugee population, or even for other pregnant women. So it happened that I was in contact with the public health who used to volunteer in our medical camp yearly. So that is how I came in contact with them. As I was going through these offices, we were planning for the health education session. I heard that they usually conduct baby showers. And then suddenly the thought came that all the refugee women, or Mother Sai is a universal mother. Then I wanted to have that feeling of that universal sisterhood. So how can I experience that? So for Swami's Maha Aradhana Day, that's when we did this project. All our sisters from Des Moines Sai Center, we decided to do this. So that is how the thought came that we wanted to experience the love of the sisterhood. We wanted to share Swami's Universal Mother's love with them. That is how we started this project.
Sairam, for Des Moines Somalia tutoring service, as I told earlier, like we were looking for our group 4 for a service activity for our group 4 kids. We were having our Sai Center stall at one of our India Day celebrations, and it happened that Sanjita Pradhan, she's also a Sai student. She stopped by, and she actually works with the refugee communities, and that's how like she came to know that the Somalia service, Somalia community needed some kind of activity within their community for their kids, so that they can keep the kids off of the streets and have them engaged in their education and put them in the right path. So we were able to connect with the Somalia's community leaders. We went to their mosque, we met with them, we talked to them and figured out the timings and the structure that will work for both us and for them. So we just started with whatever we had and improve upon it. We saw a need and we wanted to do the service, and we just built upon it.
We are not partnering with any local organization, but how it started was that, I have one Sai devotee in the center member. So she knew an Afghan family very well. She introduced us to this family, and that's how it all started. This one child was the one who was being tutored, and later on, that the mother was so impressed, the family was impressed, so she, through her connections, she connected us to many other in their community. So that's how, like, slowly, one and then two and three, and so that's how it's all built up. But now we serve more, primarily I would say, Afghan settlers, but there are other refugee children as well.
It's been in the news all the last couple of months ago that thousands of Afghan families have been evacuated from Kabul. Then we later saw a news report in one of the local news articles saying about 150 plus families are going to be landing in Lowell area. This is where our centers are going to be located. So that we got interested in it. We reached out to an organization that is called IANE. They expressed interest in working with us. So we have just started the dialogue to see how we can be of support for these Afghan families.
Choosing a partner is important, especially in lieu of the things that we need to be careful about on the right partner for the right program. The final question that I have is roses and thorns. Roses being the blessings, the satisfactions that you have received, and thorns being the challenges and the opportunities to grow. So I'd love to hear what roses and thorns you have encountered in your service program.
The roses are always good. So just sharing the love. Just by sharing Swami's love, we received immense amount of love from them. That is the first rose I would really enjoyed, and the bliss was the biggest rose we received. These are Burmese refugee families. They don't have any families. They don't speak the language, and on the top of it, pregnancy. Imagine, like, when we go through the pregnancy, like, we have mothers, aunts, uncle, the whole family is behind you. They are in a land, it's completely new to them. They're here, they don't have any support, family support, language barrier, it's just completely new. So when we did this, they were in tears, like, I don't think even I would have had this in my own country. So to receive that love and to see that was the greatest rose I felt. Talking about the thorn, the process itself, we didn't have any problems at all, but we did it the first year. But the second year, we wanted to continue to do that every year. The second year, COVID hit. Nothing is an obstacle, it's an opportunity, Swami says. Like, thinking about Hanuman, he never stopped. So we just found a way, and I constantly contacted them, even though their office was closed. Finally, I got their cell phone number, reached out to them, hey, we wanted to do that. And she was like, oh my God, Dr. Sankaran, we really need that. With the COVID, we are minimal with the funding, so we need more supplies. So all our sisters, again, we got together and we collected all the supplies, came to the office one day, we delivered it at their door, and the office would deliver to the pregnant mothers to their home. We didn't have the celebration, but at least they received our love, Swami's love.
We have many roses than thorns, and as Sister Mother said, like, thorns are kind of the opportunities, and whenever we ran into something, we overcame it, and we have been fixing those things up until now. The best thing that we got is kind of the satisfaction, and also it helped both us from Sai Center, Group 4 kids, and also them. And on our side, it is kind of applying the human values that we are learning in our SSC Group 4, patience and leadership. Those were the things that our kids were practicing. I see them practicing those things through tutoring. We have seen a tremendous improvement in those kids. We had a wide age group ranging from elementary to high school. And some of the high school kids, because they came here into the country when they are older, little older kids, so there was some language barrier, and they did not have the same type of education back in their country before coming. So we had to go back to their basics and start with like a very basic teachings. So we were able to help them with the foundations. And we have heard a lot of good things about the kids being improved. Not many parents could speak English, so we had only one or two parents that could speak English, and we had to communicate everything we had to just with them. But other than that, I think we had a very good program going on, and it helped been beneficial for both sides.
For Atlanta, in terms of that, Swami has really showered beautiful roses of all different colors. By means of all colors, what I mean is the love and children, the way they have progressed academically, and time and again showing up every Saturday diligently, that in itself is a beauty. And I could also see that the families have so much of faith they have developed in us and in our program and in our tutors. So they feel that, yes, their children benefit certainly by joining the program. So I cannot think of any other beautiful garland of rose other than that. And I would always also say that our tutors, they have their own school program, they have their academics, everything going on, but they are so committed to this program. Even if they have any other assignment or exam coming up, a test coming up, they would always message us and let us know and make sure that the child is not left behind. He definitely has a cover. So these are lovely experiences and beautiful roses that we always see every Saturday, some lovely thing happening. And the learnings, I would say, it's a challenge actually. There are a few parents among them who speak somewhat English. Others are there who absolutely do not speak. So what we have learned is both tutors and us, we would say as coordinators, immense amount of patience. Be patient and empathetic with them and be non-judgmental. That comes to my mind often, time and again. So just go along with them, nudge them, work with them patiently. Things do happen.
We just started this program here in the greater Boston area. When we started talking about this, we introduced our intention to have this as a project. And there was such an enthusiasm for it. A number of people joined when we had the meetings with the nonprofit organization. They attended the orientation program. There is a lot of support to see how we can support them in many different ways. We could support them by giving them groceries. We could provide them in-kind donations. We are also thinking of offering soil tutoring. We would like to see Afghan engineers, Afghan doctors, and scientists to come up. We want to help them to have a strong foundation. This is one way that we could participate and help them grow and stand on their own. As regard to thorns, the next 2 months, we are entering into a holiday season. So we are going to use this time for planning purposes. Come January, I'm hoping we'll have enough volunteers to take up the activities and help these Afghan evacuees.
Thank you all. That was wonderful information and information that our other centers can use when they start on their refugee program. Again, thank you all. Sai Ram.
Dearest Sai family, loving Sai Rams, we hope you have been inspired by the ongoing selfless service provided to refugees across our nation. On the occasion of Bhagavan's 96th birthday, we would like to announce the formation of a National Refugee Support Corps group to support all the refugee relief-related projects across the country. This group will provide guidance, information sharing, education, and models for engaging with refugees in a more systematic manner. Here are some next steps that centers and groups can take to get more involved. Consider taking a few upcoming trainings provided through the National Refugee Core Group to become more familiar with the world of refugee work, the spectrum of opportunities available, how to get started, and the services you ultimately would like to provide. Consider providing support services to already arrived refugees and/or refugee families, getting in touch with volunteer agency affiliates in your locality and/or ethnic community-based organizations. Some examples of support services include helping navigate health and human services in your area, English language tutoring, math tutoring, job development, mentoring youth and/or adults, befriending refugees and guiding them through American society and culture until they feel self-sufficient. The National Refugee Support Core Group will be there to provide guidance and assistance to you throughout this process, ensuring that we adhere to the guidelines of the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization, USA. Again, on the holy occasion of Swami's 96th birthday, please take this opportunity to become a part of an already vibrant and resilient network. Let us grow together in this journey of selfless service that Swami is guiding us on. Jai Sai Ram.
ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా, సాయిని సంతోషపెట్టేటువంటివి సేవలే. సాయి చేసేటువంటిది కూడాను సేవలే. సాయి చెప్పేటువంటిది కూడాను సేవలే. ఈ విధమైనటువంటి యొక్క ఉత్తమ భావములతో, విశాలమైన హృదయములతో సమాజంలో ప్రవేశించి సేవలు సలపండి. అదే సాయికి సంతృప్తికరమిచ్చేటువంటిది.
Welcome back to this week's episode of InSaider Lens at Soul Network. What a wonderful and inspiring session, and we hope you enjoyed this segment from our fellow devotees from around the country. After enjoying this truly inspiring session, we encourage you to take at least 30 minutes this week to do something that really kindles your inspiration. What is it that's close to your heart and really makes you smile? Do tell us about it. Your responses will be displayed in our next episode. Looking forward to receiving your submissions. Before we head down to ATL with our on-site reporter Harsha, let us now watch the public service announcement for the week.
Raja! Wow. It's been such a long, stressful day at work. I'm so tired. What have you been up to? Just napping, eating snacks at home, huh? In the house that I pay rent for? I don't even get time to relax here. At least maybe now we get some time to just chill. Oh my gosh. Would you look at this, Raja? Jim bought a new house. How does he even do it? Here I am, struggling to pay the rent. Doing my job every single day as hard as I possibly can. It's not fair, Swami. Like, I pray every single day. What else am I supposed to do? Look at this. Look how nice this house is. What am I doing wrong, Swami? I work hard. I was one of the top students in my graduating class. He doesn't deserve this. I do.
Come on, Joe. Calm down. You say that Jim doesn't deserve this life. Do you really think that's true?
Raja, was that you talking? No, or I'm just going crazy. There's no way.
You were fine watching The Secret Life of Pets on TV the other day. The dogs and cats in the movie were all having a conversation. Even the crazy bunny spoke. So I assumed you knew that I spoke too. But you look surprised. Okay, I don't have the time for this, so let's cut to the chase. Do you truly think Jim is not worthy of the life he has? And by the way, you understand I cannot pay rent because I don't have a job, right?
Wait, so you are actually talking. It's not just me going crazy. This is crazy. I have a talking dog. This can work. Maybe you can get a job. Maybe in PR, marketing, or something like that. I guess you're right. He does work extremely hard at work. He tends to stay long hours. He does very much deserve it.
I love you, but that rant, that was not you at all. Do you think that it helped you feel any better?
Well, no, not really. I realized how negative it sounded as I was saying it. I didn't really mean to say it, and those words were hardly self-inspiring. I didn't mean to go on a rant like that. I'm sorry, Raja.
Don't compare your life with others. I would not trade you or this life for anything.
You're right, Raja. I should count my blessings. I'm very thankful for everything that I have already in my life, including you. I love you, buddy. Wow. I not only have a talking dog, but a smart one too.
Finally, Jim is your good friend. How would Jim have felt if he heard you? Those were not kind words at all.
No, you're right. I wouldn't have said those things if Jim was here.
Jim wasn't here, but two of your true companions were listening to it.
Well, one's you. I already apologized earlier. Who's the other person? Did someone break in? Who's there?
Oh God, what do I do with you?
Oh, of course, it's Swami. I knew that.
Joe, Swami always talks about the importance of our speech and tells us to pause and think before we speak. Here's an easy way to remember this. Ask yourself, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And finally, are your words kind? This will prevent you from speaking on impulse, negative words that you don't actually mean. Always remember that Swami is in everyone, and when you speak to anyone, the Swami in you is speaking to the Swami in them.
What a meaningful message in that PSA. Let us make sure we pause and think before we speak. Welcome back to Insider Lens. Now, let us head to Atlanta, where Harsha is waiting for us. Over to you, Harsha.
Thank you, Vishnu. Atlanta is a city full of history and culture, and its natural surroundings open our eyes to its ever-evolving spirituality. The story goes that Atlanta got its official name from Martha Atalanta Lumpkin, the daughter of Governor Wilson Lumpkin. The city was first named Marthasville in her honor. It was changed soon after to Atlanta. Georgia is known as a peach state. Here's a fun fact about Atlanta. There are 70 Peachtree street names all over the city. However, there are very few actual peach trees. Visitors can indulge themselves in the history of this city by visiting landmarks such as Martin Luther King Jr. National Park, which includes the civil rights leader's childhood home, his church, and final resting place. Dr. King once said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." Just like our very own Swami emphasized time and again, to love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. One must visit the Centennial Olympic Park, in which stands the iconic National Center for Civil and Human Rights that houses some of the unique collections and artifacts starting from the historical civil rights movement to the modern-day human rights struggles for immigrants, women, and the LGBTQIA+ community. The motto that this center proudly carries is to educate, inspire, and empower. Next to the park stands the Georgia Aquarium, one of the world's largest. It is home to both regional species and other varieties of marine life. The aquarium is committed to the rescue and rehab of California sea lions and southern sea otters from the coast of California and Alaska, which otherwise may not survive the first year after their birth. What a noble mission! The city of Atlanta has a bold goal of becoming 100% green by 2035. They are well on their way, given that 47.9% of the city is covered with trees, making it known as the city in a forest. Let us commend Atlanta on this effort and participate in beach cleanups and tree planting service project in your community. Atlanta stands true to its motto, Resurgence, rising from the ashes, which in another sense is moving from darkness to light, likewise from hatred to love. Each of the landmarks mentioned not only embodies the same, but also empowers people and nature through their actions in achieving their comebacks, truly helping them rise from the ashes. Swami says that talent is not a gift of God, but the talent is God, and Atlanta definitely nurtures this to the fullest degree. There is plentiful talent in art, music, and film. The city is home to over 15 art museums, 26 design schools, and hosts art shows and galleries every weekend. Music lovers can also get a taste of Atlanta culture through various music festivals held in the city, the largest being Music Midtown in Piedmont Park. Movie lovers, we did not forget about you. Be sure to attend the Atlanta Film Festival held every spring. Atlanta also has a deep spiritual connection that one can experience throughout the city. The Baps Swaminarayan Mandir, Atlanta, is currently the largest Hindu temple in the world outside of India and is one of 15 Hindu temples in the Atlanta metro area. Atlanta is also home to the 6th largest Muslim proportion in the country and the 9th largest Jewish population in the United States. As Swami says, all I want is your love in God, no matter what your faith. And Atlanta personifies that statement. This is just a small taste of what Atlanta has to offer, but as you can see, it personifies all aspects of life through its rich history, culture, and diversity. Hope you enjoyed the journey through the Big Peach. Back to you, Vishnu.
Thank you, Harsha, and thanks to all our viewers for joining us on this week's episode of InSaider Lens. This has been an incredible journey for the spiritual traveler to experience the varieties that Atlanta has to offer. Toward the end of the Civil War, Atlanta was captured by the Union Army and burned to the ground. It was later rebuilt stronger than ever. This serves as the basis for Atlanta's city motto, Resurgence, which is Latin for rising again. The city symbol is the phoenix, the mythical firebird which literally rises from the ashes. The phoenix is about overcoming darkness and rising to the challenge to become powerful. Swami speaks of faith as a fire. Small fires are easily put out by the smallest winds, and so are small faiths by the smallest doubts. The phoenix is a personification of ever-constant faith, even through our darkest times. It is faith that allows us to rise. Let this faith light the lamp of love in our hearts so that it dispels darkness and ignorance. We hope all of you enjoyed taking this trip through Atlanta with us. We will see you next time on InSaider Lens. Don't forget to tune in on Friday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. Pacific. This is Vishnu Rangachari on Soul Network, signing off. Until next week, stay safe, healthy, and well. Sairam.